So this is Dr. Sepuri Krishnamohan, endocrinologist at my own center, Sepuri Diabetes and Endocrine Center, Kurnool. And very good evening, my dear professional colleagues. And today we are going to talk about the insulins, about the ARISE study actually, the beyond the clinical trials, ARISE to the reality of total control with 2-in-1 solution. Next slide please. Yeah, this is my financial disclosure.
You can change slides from your end.
Yeah. So, the insulin degludec aspart improves glycemic control with minimal hypoglycemia. This is an Indian real world study in type 2 diabetes mellitus. And type 2 diabetes initiated on insulin degludec and aspart and regular follow-up were de-identified from electronic medical records, and the clinical outcomes and the hypoglycemic events were captured. And the baseline characteristics of this study, the number was 152 and 78.57% were males. Age was somewhere around 53 years. The duration of diabetes was somewhere around some 11.5 years, and percentage of the patients only on oral hypoglycemic agents, it was 36.39%, and percentage of the patients on oral hypoglycemic agents as well as insulin, it was 63.61%, and insulin degludec aspart treatment duration was somewhere around some 10.3 months. And the significant changes seen in key baseline parameters, you can clearly see that the 92% of the patients achieved the customized HbA1c targets, and the graphs they are showing, the first one is regarding the reductions in the HbA1c compared to the initial and the current, and the second one is regarding the fasting plasma glucose, and third one is regarding the bar diagram is regarding the reductions in the body weight. You can very clearly see that the reductions in the A1C are seen, and the reductions in the fasting plasma glucose it is seen, and the reductions in the body weight is also very evident, with mean insulin degludec and aspart treatment duration of 10.3 months. Only 5 hypoglycemic episodes were reported, and out of that none was a severe one, and there were no reported episodes of nocturnal hypoglycemias, which is a favorable aspect of this particular insulin degludec and aspart over the other insulins. And an evaluation of the prescription pattern of insulin degludec aspart and its clinical outcomes in the Indian clinical practice. So this is from our Indian the diabetologists and the endocrinologists. This was published in the Journal of International Diabetes Federation, the IDF, the Congress 2019. Then evaluation of the prescription patterns of insulin degludec aspart and its clinical outcomes in Indian clinical practice. A retrospective evaluation of the prescription pattern and clinical outcomes of insulin degludec aspart among patients with type 2 diabetes in a real world setting of Indian clinical practice, and the baseline characteristics of the study is like the males were 74.14%, and the age somewhere around some 54 years, and the duration of diabetes was 11 years, and the duration of treatment with insulin degludec aspart was somewhere around 11 months. And you can see the insulin degludec aspart, the co-formulation is effective across the different range of clinical profiles, including the treatment naive patients. You can go through this when compared to the OHS only, when compared to the OHA plus insulin, and when compared to the OHA plus insulin plus GLP-1 receptor agonist, and the treatment naive started on insulin degludec aspart plus orals, and the treatment naive started on insulin degludec aspart and orals and along with the GLP-1 receptor agonists. And the insulin degludec aspart 1 year real world experience. And the retrospective observational study of Indian patients with type 2 diabetes switching to insulin degludec aspart. You can see from this the baseline to 24 weeks to 52 weeks, that is a period of 1 year. It was studied with insulin degludec aspart, and the data collection period was from 15th December to 15th January of 2015. The 48 patients with type 2 diabetes were studied for a period of 1 year, and the rationale is to gain the insights into the patient experience and dosing conditions of insulin degludec aspart in insulin degludec aspart experienced patients. And the setting is 2 endocrine centers in the country, in our country. The data collected, it was the basic demographics, the anthropometry, the dosage and the frequency of insulin administration, the using of oral glucose lowering drugs, and the glycemic control. And the retrospective observational study of Indian patients with type 2 diabetes switching to insulin degludec aspart. The multicentric study was of 48 patients with diabetes with 12 months follow-up. In real world practice, after 6 months and after 12 months, insulin degludec aspart resulted in the reductions in the HbA1c as well as the daily insulin dose from the baseline. And on the left hand side, you can see the reductions in the A1C. That is, it was the A1C was reduced by 2.01% in the first 6 months, and the daily insulin dose was reduced by 5.42 units a day. And after 12 months, the A1C was reduced to 2.04%, and the daily insulin was reduced by 1.76 units. And the real world evidence confirms the efficacy and the safety profile of insulin degludec and aspart. But do we have the real world evidence study of insulin degludec aspart with the prospective follow-up? So this is the ARISE study, that is the Rhizodec initiation and switch effectiveness study. And the virtual event of this particular Australian Asian Diabetes Congress, which was held in the month of August, from 11th August to 13th August 2021, it said the improved glycemic control in people with type 2 diabetes initiating or switching to insulin degludec aspart from any anti-hyperglycemic treatment in a real-world setting across the 6 countries. And the study design of ARISE is the adults with type 2 diabetes mellitus. The number was somewhere around some 1112 patients, and insulin degludec aspart was started as per the local practice, and it was divided into like the baseline, that is week 0, that is visit 1, and the observational period, that is visit 2, and at the end of 26 to 36 weeks, that is visit 3, that is the end of the study. And the week 1, it was only the informed consent and the treatment was started, and the study information is, it is non-interventional multi-center prospective primary data collection and visit frequency according to the local standard of care. And the key inclusion criteria was physician's decision to start treatment with insulin degludec and aspart, and the age is around or more than 18 years, and the patients diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and treated with any other anti-hyperglycemic treatment other than insulin degludec aspart, and the available HbA1c was available HbA1c value around or less than 12 weeks. And the countries participated in this study were the Australia, India, Malaysia, Philippines, Saudi Arabia and South Africa. And the endpoints of the ARISE study is the primary endpoints and the secondary endpoints and the exploratory endpoints. And primary endpoint was the change in the glycosylated hemoglobin HbA1c, and the secondary endpoints were the HbA1c less than 7%, HbA1c less than the predefined target, and the changes in the fasting plasma glucose, and the change in the insulin dose, the total prandial or the basal, and change in the body weight, and number of the events of the hypoglycemia, and the treatment discontinuation. And the exploratory endpoints were the resource utilization and HbA1c, that is achieving the A1c of less than 7% without any incidence of hypoglycemias. So ARISE, the overall subject disposition is the patients invited for the study were 1462. The patients, the signed informed consent was only 1122, and the patient started insulin, Degludec and Aspart were 1102 patients, and the patients who completed the study, it was 1015, and 92% of the patients completed the study. And the baseline characteristic, you can go through this, the ARISE baseline characteristics: age, the sex, the gender, male or female, the body weight, the duration of the diabetes, and the body mass index, and the fasting plasma glucose, and the HbA1c. And the previous anti-hyperglycemic treatment in the ARISE study, that was the OADs only was 35%, and the basal insulin was 21.8%. The GLP-1 receptor agonist, it was 8.2%. The patients on basal plus bolus, it was 13%. And the patients on premix were 21.9%. And the frequency prescribed by the physicians and the insulin Degludec Aspart, the once daily was the 52.2%, that was in the subjects somewhere around 575 patients, and 525 patients, that is 525 patients, that is 47.6% were put on twice daily insulin Degludec Aspart. And in the ARISE study, the insulin Degludec was used as both once and twice daily injections. And the reasons for starting insulin Degludec Aspart and treatment, the improved glycemic control and the lower risk of hypoglycemia, the advantage and flexibility and need for fewer injections were the common reasons for starting insulin Degludec Aspart. And the changes in the HbA1c from baseline by country you take, see this is the baseline is overall, and the Australia, and the India, Malaysia, Philippines, Saudi Arabia, you can see the bar diagrams, and the significant reductions was seen for mean change in HbA1c from baseline overall and across the countries. And when we take the parameter, the change in the A1c from the baseline by prior treatment groups, you can go through this bar diagram, the overall and the OADs, and the basal and the GLP-1 receptor, and the basal bolus and the premixed. And significant reductions, the inference is significant reduction was seen for mean change of HbA1c from baseline overall and the across the treatment subgroups. And when we look into the secondary endpoint, like the changes in the fasting plasma glucose from the baseline, see the by country, and you can see the reductions, the overall and the Australia, India, Malaysia, Philippines and Saudi Arabia and South Africa, there were significant reductions in the fasting plasma glucose. And the patients who were on this particular the insulin Degludec Aspart in the ARISE study, the significant reduction was seen for mean change in the fasting plasma glucose from baseline overall and across the countries. And the resource utilization in the ARISE, you can see that the light blue and the dark blue, and the letters are not visible. Okay, forget about it. The significant, the inference was very significant reduction was seen for resource utilization. I'm sorry, my dear participants, for the technical glitch, because I'm not supposed to use the pad. It is to be like a laptop, preferably should be used, because I'm missing so many points. No problem. So the non-severe hypoglycemic events from ARISE, you can see with the OADs and the basal and the GLP-1 receptor agonists and the premix and the basal bolus, and prior to the start of the treatment on the left hand side and prior to the end of the study on the right hand side, and the number of patients with the events, the OAD were 23 and with basal it was 25, GLP receptor agonist it was the number was 7, and the premix was 45 and basal bolus was 27, and respectively you can see the figures on the right hand side prior to the end of the study. The observed within the 4 weeks, the hypoglycemia is observed within the 4 weeks prior to start of this insulin degludec aspect. The events were 364 and observed within 4 weeks prior to the end of the study or discontinuation, and it is 162. Lower risk of non-severe hypoglycemic events were seen on treatment with ఎందుకు స్టాప్ కావాలి? And coming to the conclusions of ARISE. In the ARISE study, the initiation with or switch over to the insulin degludec aspect has led to the effective HbA1c reductions, that is 1.6% HbA1c reduction in the Indian cohort, and the effective fasting plasma glucose control, that is around 52 milligram per deciliter of fasting plasma glucose reduction in the Indian cohort, and improved safety, that is the lower risk of hypoglycemic events and better resource utilization, the significant reductions in the outpatient visits as well as the self-reported work days missed. And thank you for patient listening, and kindly bear with the technical glitches. If there are any questions in the chat box, you can ask me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, sir. Given topic, I'm requesting all the audience, please put forward your valuable questions here. Sir and madam is ready for your queries. Sir, there are multiple questions are there, sir. Can I go ahead, sir?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Okay.
Sir, first question is, what are your impression about the adoption of insulin in India?
Pardon?
First
question is?
Sir?
What is the first question?
It is continuation, sir. Sir, it is continuation, sir. First question. What are your impression about adoption of insulin in India? What role can newer insulins play improving insulin adoption?
Yeah, insulins, not only my own opinion, my own practice, and as per the evidence-based medicine, we need to start insulin early in the disease course. Before the patients, they just get into the pancreatic beta cell failure, that is a stage called the absolute insulinopenia, that is pancreatic bankruptcy. So that is the part 1 question. And second thing, about the newer insulins, they just have got a lot of advantages when compared to the conventional insulins like the biphasic premixed insulins or the short-acting insulins or the NPH insulins. The newer insulins, the co-formulation insulin like the insulin degludec aspect has got lot of advantages. see, it can be started as a basal plus once daily along with the existing OADs with the largest meal of the day. Or if the patient, you feel that the blood sugars are terribly high, you can straight away start twice daily the insulin, degludec and aspart in your practice. And the advantages are it meticulously controls the fasting plasma glucose and the postprandial glucose and the HbA1c, that is the glycemic triad, is achieved with the introduction of this particular insulin, degludec and aspart. Over the advantage over the conventional and the old insulins is it can be given just before the meal, or the patient misses the insulin during the meal also it can be taken. Even the patient misses the insulin and after the meal also it is very effective. You don't need to wait for the half an hour as we used to do earlier with the conventional biphasic premixed insulin, that is. So we have to wait for half an hour because as long as the insulin in the bottle it is concerned with the biphasic premixed insulin, it will be in the form of dihexamer actually. Once it is injected into the subcutaneous tissue, it takes somewhere around some 30 minutes to break down from a dihexamer to the hexamer, and hexamer getting broken down to diamer, and diamer getting broken down to monomer, and monomeric insulin is the active principle of the insulin, and it takes absolutely exactly the 30 minutes. So the patient has to wait for 30 minutes after taking the insulin, either in the morning or in the evening. The same theory applies. And second thing is the incidence of hypoglycemia, as we have seen, they were the highest with the premixed insulins. That is, biphasic premixed insulins had the incidence of the hypoglycemias to the maximum, and you can minimize the particular the nocturnal hypoglycemias as well as the daytime hypoglycemias with the introduction of the novel insulins, that is the designer insulins or the analog insulins or the insulin co-formulation like insulin, degludec and aspart, and you can even prevent the very severe hypoglycemia which requires the hospitalization. What we call the level 3 hypoglycemia is very much required reduced with the insulin, degludec, aspart, that is the newer insulins. That is the second advantage. And the third advantage is with regards to the weight, the biphasic premixed that always increases the weight along with the undesirable hypoglycemic events, whereas with this you don't find so much of weight gain. Maybe it's a half kilo to 1 kilo weight gain you may find with the newer insulins. So these are all the flexibilities with we have with this particular the newer insulins when compared to this the older insulins. So I would appeal to all my professional colleagues that they don't wait for the pancreatic bankruptcy, and when the patient is failing on the 2 drugs and is on 3 drugs, after that you please try to initiate insulin. Preferably you can start with the basal insulin, or you can go for the biphasic premixed, either the human or the co-formulation, or you can go for depending upon the condition. If the patient is in DKA, you can go for either the rapid acting or the short acting insulin. If you can maintain the IV insulin, that is the best. If you cannot maintain, you can even go for a subcutaneous insulin even in the diabetic ketoacidosis. And you can go for basal bolus regimes. There are multiple the ways of initiating the insulin along with the existing OADs or without the OADs, where in the clinical settings where the patient is to be in ICU, where you have to stop all the oral drugs, put the patient only on insulin. So insulin, what I think is something like it's oxygen for the patient in the critical and the serious settings. Next question, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your response, sir. Most of the questions were now answered by you, sir, in this one.
Yeah, no problem.
Only.
Yeah.
I'm now going for second question here.
Yeah,
sir,
please.
multiple guidelines are available on recommendation for the choice of insulin initiation. Disparities in India, in an Indian scenario, do you feel the need of prandial insulin control right through the initiation in majority of the patients?
Yeah, absolutely. Even the Endocrine Society of India, if I take the particularly barring all the international recommendations, I just confine myself to the Indian recommendations. The two major the Indian authorities related to diabetes, one is the Endocrine Society of India and the second is the RSSDI. They have given a mandate that you should start this particular the patient is affordable. You can start this co-formulation as basal plus therapy to start with once a day, and you can escalate to to twice a day. And what you have pointed out is very right. That is, the prandial component should be taken care well in the Indian scenario, because we consume lot of carbohydrates. Somewhere around some 60 to 70% of our diet is only carbohydrates. So we take less of proteins and more of oils. So to counter that, the prandial spikes, and we need to control meticulously this particular the prandial spikes to control the HbA1c, because HbA1c is not only dependent on the postprandial glucose, it is dependent on the fasting plasma glucose also. But nevertheless, both are important. In one way, fix the fasting first. I always try to fix the fasting first, and always concentrate on the prandial component, because more than major 7 international studies, and out of which the very prominent is the Honolulu study. Honolulu is an island. So the Honolulu study and the other 6 studies have confirmed that the persistent increments in the postprandial glucose in type 2 diabetes are associated with the increased incidence of cardiovascular diseases, that is either the myocardial infarction or the strokes or even this particular the heart failures. So keeping in that in view, you need to meticulously control the fasting as well as the prandial, because we as Indians, we consume lot of carbohydrates, and we need to counsel the patient to reduce the simple carbohydrates, at least increase the complex carbohydrates in the diet. So that will take care of to some extent, and along with insulin to control the postprandial spikes. Though there is no mortality benefit, I would recommend my professional colleagues to use Oglibos appropriately in the dose. The introduction must be in a phase-wise manner, like 1 tablet of 0.2 or 0.3 in the first week, and second week the second tablet, and the third week onwards, if it is required, the third tablet, along with the other orals and along with the insulin. Next question, please.
Sir, if the patient missed the dose by 8 hours, can you still give?
Is it related to insulin degludec aspect or in general?
Sir, not mentioned. Maybe it is related to Rhizodec.
Yeah, Rhizodec can be given, because this has got the flexibility, because the insulin degludec component is there. That will take care of the prandial, the basal control very steadily. Though it is delayed by 6 or 8 hours, if the patient is taking once a day, if it is delayed by 8 hours also, you can take that particular insulin. As far as the insulin degludec aspect is concerned, or the insulin degludec is concerned, because of the very long plasma half-life of more than 56 hours.
Yes, sir.
Next question, please.
Sir, can you start from day one of diagnosis of diabetes? HbA1c is more than 8%.
No, see, as per the recommendations of American Diabetes Association, or the recommendations of the American College of Endocrinology, or by the recommendations of the American Association for the Clinical Endocrinologists, all the international bodies, what they suggest is, if either the initial A1C or in between, when the A1C is around or 9%, more than 9%, it is high time the patient has to be on insulin. If the patient is at the level of 8% of A1C and comes to you for the first time or diagnosed for the first time, you can always try with lifestyle modification, and you can start metformin, and you can add one more. The funda is now the clear funda is hit early, hit hard on diabetes. Don't delay the therapy of diagnosis. And there is one more concept, early initiation of insulin. Whatever be the A1C, let it be 7% or 8% or 9% or 10%, whatever it may be. If you want to minimize the pancreatic beta cell apoptosis is nothing but the programmed cell death is called apoptosis. So if you want to preserve the beta cell mass, if you want to give rest to the pancreas, whatever be the A1C, you can start the insulin. That is called the early initiation of insulin. That holds very good, and that benefits. You cannot define the duration of the period. Let it be for 1 week, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, even 6 weeks. That's going to help in the long run to the major extent. The patients are very much benefited. If the insulin is used in the very, very early period, that is right from the diagnosis, at least give the insulin like basal insulin for 6 to 8 weeks. That's going to preserve the pancreatic beta cell. That's going to preserve the pancreatic beta cell apoptosis, and that's going to delay the complications. That's going to delay the pancreatic bankruptcy and the preservation of the beta cells. Next question, please.
Sir, how you will compare Rhizotec with Toujeo?
Toujeo, okay. See, Rhizotec. So they are straight away they are giving the brand names, Okay.
Yes, sir.
So Toujeo of late is introduced in our country. That is insulin Glargine U300, and it is comparable to some extent with this particular insulin degludec aspect. Certainly I say yes, it's head-to-head comparison, that's it. Iodec asp is comparable with that of Toujeo. With regards to the efficacy in the A1C reductions, or the fasting plasma reductions, or the weight, or the you take the parameters of the hypoglycemia, it is comparable, but not Glargine U100. So Toujeo is very much comparable with the Rhizotec. But please don't use the brand names as far as possible. You can use the insulin degludec aspect and the insulin Glargine U300. Both are comparable. It's a head-to-head comparison actually.
Sir, next question, sir. Can I go ahead, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead fast.
Sir, there are various RW real-world evidence studies published for insulin. What do you usually look for such RWE studies?
Achha, we look for the first is the efficacy is one that counts. The reductions in the fasting plasma glucose, the reductions in the postprandial glucose, reductions in the HbA1c, what is called the glycemic triad. We see that first, and later on we see the glycemic tetrad, glycemic pentad, even glycemic hexad also. We look into the all parameters, and then coming to that, the incidence of hypoglycemia, that is one very important factor to be considered, and the The weight gain or the reductions in the weight is the another parameter to be kept in mind before prescribing. These are the three important modalities. We need to look into the real world evidence, which insulin is proving to be very superior in reducing the A1Cs, which insulin is showing the very less number of hypoglycemic events, that too the nocturnal hypoglycemias especially, and the severe, that is L3, level 3 hypoglycemias, and which insulin is neutral to the weight. These are the points to be observed when you look into the real world evidence, whatever be the medication. Next question, please.
Yes, sir. There is no.
And fourth is affordability. Also is a very major problem in our country. I look for the affordability also.
Sir, no questions, sir.
No questions.
Audience.
No problem.
Yes, sir. Sir, couple of questions is there, sir, from our end, sir. Can I ask?
Yeah, you can always.
Sir, does your routine clinical practice with IDA gas match the ARISE study results, sir?
Even more than that.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I have seen the very favorable results with. I've got lot of experience. I can say vast experience. I had put this particular insulin degludec to my hundreds and thousands of patients. They are terribly satisfied. Terribly satisfied. What is called the glycemic pentad is nothing but the achievements in the fasting plasma glucose, reductions in the fasting plasma glucose, reductions in the postprandial plasma glucose, and reductions in the this particular HbA1c, and the reductions in the hypoglycemias, and the fifth point is reductions in the nocturnal hypoglycemias. The glycemic pentad is definitely achieved in almost 95 to 98% of the patients of mine who are put on this particular insulin Rhizodec, that is the insulin degludec and aspart, along with the existing OADs or alone in cases of infections without any OADs. Suppose a case of diabetic foot I come across, so I just have to withdraw all the oral drugs. I just have to put the patient only on insulin degludec and aspart. I cannot put the patient. Otherwise, the patient for a normal visit for uncontrolled the type 2 diabetes or the uncontrolled the type 1 diabetes, the elderly type 1 diabetes, I have my patients are very happy alone with this particular insulin degludec aspart without the existing OADs also. Any question from your side, Novartis side?
Sir, sir, it is related to that one only, sir.
Yeah, please.
Is there improvement in quality of life with IDA gas?
100%. 100% there is improvement of quality of life actually. See, the glycemic pentad had this particular parameter actually. The glycemic tetrad had this particular the quality of life. Of late they had taken up this quality of life and they had incorporated the nocturnal hypoglycemias in place of quality of life. What we call QOL. Quality of life is very well improved with this particular insulin degludec and aspart. To tell you very honestly, I don't have any experience with the Toujeo. The only theoretical knowledge I have never used Toujeo in my life. So, as far as insulin degludec aspart, I have got abundant experience in my patient setting.
Sir, there are multiple questions again came, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Shoot the questions.
Sir, will you use degludec or combination?
Definitely I'll use not alone degludec. See, if there is a need for degludec, where the patient is insulin naive and the patient is on multiple OADs already, he has used 4 or 5 OADs and the patient comes to me for the first time, I would love to use insulin degludec. But most of the times, as the cost is the biggest barrier in this particular case, insulin degludec is more costlier when compared to this insulin degludec and aspart. In my clinical scenario, as the price is very high and the price is affordable with the insulin degludec and aspart, so I would prefer to go for this particular insulin degludec aspart because basal plus is always better than the basal insulin. So I always would love to go for never once a day. I always initiate this particular insulin degludec and aspart twice a day for my patients.
Sir, any other combinations of long-acting insulins and ultra-short-acting insulins are available other than this combination?
No, in one combination nothing is available. This is the only one combination where you find this. Others are okay. There is insulin glargine U100, U300. Along with that, you can use insulin lispro or insulin aspart or insulin glulysin as the prandial insulins. But as a single shot, the co-formulation, to the best of my knowledge, in our country, not only in our country, even in the abroad also, I think this is the only one co-formulation we have, that is insulin degludec and aspart. All others have to be given like 3 shots of the prandial shots. They either the insulin aspart or the insulin lispro or the insulin glulysin and a basal insulin, either the glargine U100 or U300 or the degludec you can give along with aspart. But I would love giving the patients the advantage of 2-time insulin rather than the 4-time insulin, and the affordability and the patient tolerance improves with the minimal injections of insulin. Next question, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, which one is better among the glargine U100 and the degludec?
Undoubtedly, it is degludec. Degludec is the best basal insulin available on the earth. There is no debate and dispute on that particular issue. Nothing can beat insulin degludec as far as the basal insulin is concerned. That is the best basal insulin available on the earth as of now. If something is going to come from the basket of Novo Nordisk, if icodec, insulin icodec, the once a week very long acting the basal insulin is going to come soon. Once icodec comes, I cannot predict the state of insulin degludec, but until then, as of now, as on today, as of this particular minute, I vouch that degludec is no way, like nothing is comparable to degludec as far as basal insulins are concerned. Starting from the NPH to glargine U100, whatever it may be, anything. Nothing is comparable to this particular combination, this basal insulin.
Yes, sir. Sir is asking nowadays combination of glargine and GLP-RA is coming with lixisenatide.
Yeah, that is a different combination. See, I am talking about insulins, the combinations of insulins. I am not talking about the combinations of GLP-1 receptor agonists with insulin. That is a different, altogether, it's a different topic. Combine.
Other combinations are like that available is also.
Yeah, Trulicity is available. The lixisenatide and the insulin glargine is available from the makers of the Sanofi. It is there.
Yes, sir. How you will advise on sick days?
Sick days, okay. The patient is really sick. When the patient is not taking any Nilpal oral, you have to monitor the blood glucose, and based on that you need to decrease the dose of insulin. You cannot totally abstain from insulin, like you cannot totally stop the insulin, because there is always hepatic glucose output, that is the liver keeps on producing the glucose. So as long as the liver produces the glucose, there will be fluctuations, though the patient is fasting and patient is not taking anything orally, if the patient is really sick. And in that case also I would love to advise the patient to take few units of the insulin along with some liquids or whatever, what best the patient can take. These are the sick day rules. If it is oral tablet, I would request the patients to stop the oral tablet on a sick day. As far as insulin is concerned, at least they should continue few units of basal insulin.
Yes, sir. There is no question, sir. One question is came, sir. In diabetic pregnancy, which insulin is the advised? How much insulin?
Pardon, diabetes, pregnancy, that is gestational diabetes?
Yes, sir. Which insulin is advisable?
See, the special entity, the gestational diabetes or the pre-gestational diabetes, the best insulin on the earth is the NPH. And after that, the short acting, that is the Actrapid. I am telling you straight away, the NPH is nothing but Insulatard, and these are the insulins recommended, though they fall under the category of B category drugs for pregnancy. So these are considered to be the safest ones, and you can use human mixtard also, though it is categorized as the category B drug for pregnancy. Even the biphasic premixed insulin is as good as these things, along with lifestyle modification. And to the best of my knowledge, only 50% of the patients, the GDM, they require insulin, and 100% of the patients with pre-GDM, they require insulin 100%. That is either the patients suffering from type 1 getting onto the GDM, or the patients suffering from type 2 diabetes getting onto pregnancy, they badly require insulin. And the gestational diabetes mellitus, that is as per the definition says, any degree of glucose intolerance seen for the first time during pregnancy is defined as the gestational diabetes mellitus. So very much it can be controlled with diet and exercise, and if it is not controlled, you can use this the NPH or the short acting human insulins, and very pathetically or degludec, and even these are not yet approved for this the use in the pregnancy, that is GDM.
Sir, if she is already having NIDDM.
Yeah, NIDDM is type 2 diabetes. That's what I said. There is no term called NIDDM, IDDM nowadays. IDDM is type 1 diabetes, NIDDM is type 2 diabetes. Yes. The patient, that's what I said. Yeah.
Sir is asking, Detamir also can be used? Detamir also can be advised?
Yeah, absolutely Detamir can be used. If it comes to analogs, Detamir is the best product that can be used in pregnancy. Even frank GDM also Detamir can be used. Even pre-GDM also, that is either the patient suffering from type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes, and they get on to pregnancy, Detamir is the one that can be used without any hesitation.
Sir, Degludec can be used in type 1 diabetes?
Absolutely, it can be used in type 1 diabetes, but the age limit is 6 years. Above the age of 6 years, you can use this particular Degludec, and even the Aspart also can be used.
Yes, sir. Recently, Glargine is used in this type of.
Yeah, Glargine from the beginning it is there. Now it has come down to more than 2 years. The age is has reduced. Glargine is there for the use of type 1 diabetes from the beginning. The best combination before this was the Glargine plus Lispro. Both are from this particular, one is from Eli Lilly and one is from this Sanofi, and that was the best combination for the type 1 people. And now the age has been reduced to above around or above more than 2 years of type 1 patients can be put on insulin Glargine.
Is Glargine is used in GDM?
Yeah, Glargine can be used. Glargine can be used in GDM.
Yes, sir. That's all, sir.
Glargine and Detimer can be very much used in GDM.
Yes, sir. That's all, sir. Questions are over now.
Yeah, now you can wind up this session.
Yes, sir. Thank you one and all for your active participation. Almost all 25, more than 25 questions.